Genesis chapter 22. And it came to pass after these matters that God tested Abraham, and said to him, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Behold, it is I. And he said, Take your son, the beloved, whom you loved, Isaac, and go into the high land, and offer him there as a whole offering upon one of the mountains, whichever I may tell you. And Abraham, rising up in the morning, saddled his donkey, and took with himself 2 servants, and Isaac his son, and splitting wood for a whole offering, rising up to go, then they came upon the place which God spoke to him on the 3rd day. And Abraham, looking up with his eyes, saw the place far off. And Abraham said to his servants, You sit yourselves with the donkey, and I and the lad will go through unto here, and doing obeisance, we will return to you. And Abraham took the wood for the whole offering, and placed it upon Isaac his son. And he took with his hands the fire and the knife, and the 2 went together. And Isaac said to Abraham his father, Father. And he said, What is it, child? And he said, Behold, the fire and the wood. Where is the sheep for a whole offering? And Abraham said, God will see to himself a sheep for a whole offering, child. And both going together, they came upon the place which God spoke to him. And Abraham built there the altar, and placed the wood upon it. And binding Isaac his son hand and foot, he placed him upon the altar, upon the wood. And Abraham stretched his hand to take the knife to slay his son. And an angel of the Lord called him from out of the heaven, and said, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Behold, it is I. And he said, You should not put your hand upon the lad, nor should you do anything to harm him, anything to him by any means, for now I know that you fear God, and spared not your beloved son on account of me. And Abraham, looking up with his eyes, saw, and behold, one ram being held in a plant of a thicket by the horns. And Abraham went and took the ram, and offered it for a whole offering instead of Isaac his son. And Abraham called the name of that place, The Lord saw, that they may say today, The Lord was seen in the mountain. And the angel of the Lord called Abraham a second time from out of the heaven, saying, According to myself, I swear by an oath, says the Lord, because of which you did this matter, and you spared not your beloved son on account of me, assuredly, in blessing I will bless you, and in multiplying I will multiply your seed as the stars of the heaven, and as the sand by the edge of the sea. And your seed shall inherit the cities of your opponents. And all the nations of the earth will be blessed by your seed, because you obeyed my voice. And Abraham returned to his servants. And rising up, they went together to the well of the oath. And Abraham dwelt near the well of the oath. And it came to pass after these matters that it was announced to Abraham, saying, Behold, even Milcah herself has borne sons to Nahor your brother. Huz, the firstborn, and Buz his brother, and Kemuel father of the Syrians, and Kesed, and Hazo, and Pildash, and Jidlaph, and Bethuel. And Bethuel procreated Rebekah. These are the 8 sons whom Milcah bore to Nahor, the brother of Abraham. And his concubine, whose name was Reumah, bore even herself Tebah, and Gaham, and Thahash, and Maacah.